just saying "ee" on spring break when someone talks about joy. You're like, oh, you're that person. Let's never vacation together. I think it's true. And some of us in seasons of whether you truly believe that joy is for you. And we have a lot of depression in my family. I've known up close what great despair can look like. And yet I really have come to believe in the worst seasons of my life and in the best that there is this thing in us that longs to feel the great yes of like temporary wholeness. And that promise of joy is something I actually, like I believe in. And I think that's the way we have to live it right now is, do you believe that there's a song in you that's worth singing? And I think in the face of everything being insane, we have to find our yes.
Yes, I agree, Kate. So much of your work is so researched and so intelligent and so nuanced, but it's so personal. And so I'm assuming there might be a personal way in for you in why you needed more joy now.
I guess I did feel like I should have won the game of perspective. Like having almost died and spent a really long time in and out of the hospital, I thought someone like me should be so grateful that there should be no more want. Like I've gotten back everything I thought I would lose forever. I've gotten to be the mom of my gorgeous little kid.
Shout out Zach.
Just little, who's right now in a really World War II stage. He dug a 6-foot trench in our yard and just destroyed the property value. And all of a sudden, I didn't know where he was. And then I just saw this little helmet come up and then go back down. And I was like, oh, we're talking to my father, the historian, too much. But sometimes you feel just that you can't even believe that everything that could have been gone is yours. But then I just found that there's this ache inside. There's this feeling like it makes me feel like a narcissist to say it out loud. Is this it? Is this the feeling? Is this? Well, then why do I still feel incomplete, unfinished, ridiculous, 2 a.m. come apart? Like, why is this gnawing hunger not gone? And why am I so mad at the 13th email I just got from my son's school about Crazy Sock Tuesday?
No, that has to stop. If we do one thing tonight, we're going to end Crazy Sock Tuesday. The school email, WhatsApp group, I'm right there with her. I don't even know.
There's no more love left.
No. I'm like, husband, over to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the ache part, that you mentioned, that is something that you really try to wrestle to the ground in this book of what that is, and that feeling of, I related to it too, because when you're someone who is striving for things in your life and then you have the good fortune of maybe achieving some of it in whatever that means to everybody, you do think that that's this sort of bait and switch. Like, I'm going to work really hard and sacrifice a bunch of stuff and keep showing up and being a really good person, and then I'm going to get the thing, and then I'm going to feel great, right? And then you sort of get the thing and you realize, okay, hang on, sort of what you were just describing. So did you get any closer to defining the qualities of the ache?
Well,
I feel like it's Steven Spielberg's next movie, The Ache.
The Ache.
Yeah.
Like slightly droopy. Yeah. Well, I think that feeling that kind of hungry, and it was a feeling I felt very familiar with when I was sick, is I used to look at my son running across the yard, and I think, I love you so much I could starve to death, right? Like, that everything good makes you feel hungry. So then, like, well, then what is this? If both ambition feels like hunger or chronic pain feels like wanting, but then our love feels like wanting, like, what is all this want? And doesn't this a little bit make me probably not a very good Christian, because our hearts have blah, blah, blah until they find their rest in blah, right? There's just a lot of that. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of, there's a wholeness I should experience as a person of faith. I teach pastors at a divinity school. I'm sometimes queen of Jesus land, though it has no queens, and yet, you know, and I'm just like, so what is all this? Why does it feel like spiritual hunger?
The way you say things and dissect things in one sentence is really a tremendous gift of Kate Poehler. Yes.
Well, we are not into monarchs in the States right now, I hope. It's just, and then, you know, and as a mom, you want to feel like if you nailed the Christmas card this year and all your many children found matching denim in the same evening, like that you did it. And you just want the moment where you say, it was enough, it was enough. And I have had glimmers of what it feels like when our soul feels full, but then why the rest of it? Why Tuesday and car rage? So I had a conversation with, I think everyone should have like a priest on speed dial that it just randomly says words when you're pretending it's a theological question, but it's just like nursing a personal problem and you're using your podcast for selfish reasons. But I was like, what is wrong with me? And this lovely priest named Father Ron Rollheiser was like, oh, Kate, like, as babies, we are born crying. It doesn't stop. This feeling inside is not brokenness. It's not a glitch in the system. The fact that you feel this hunger, the hunger is, it is the kind of aliveness that's inside of all of us. And it can be malformed. You can use it to starve to death for everything you shouldn't want. But all of this hunger should tell you, like, this too is good. This too is a kind of faithfulness. And it's kind of heat-seeking. It wants to go somewhere. So where will you direct all of this want?
So it's like, good news, bad news.
Yeah. There is something wrong with you, but it's wrong with everybody. You look under your pew. It's the ache. It's not going to go well. Yeah, exactly.
And so did you, after that conversation, did you feel comforted or
really
scared?
Did.
Comforted.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I think because it felt, you know, I did go sort of looking for more language around it. And I do think we need more cultural language around the ache. And there was so many. Music has so much language for it, like in the blues and in this lovely Portuguese form called saudade. It's just like that, it encapsulates a kind of a bittersweet longing, a searching, a hunger for a thing you maybe even never had but wish you had. There's a lovely philosopher, I have a German word for it, Friedrich Schiller, Sehnsucht, which was just like bittersweet longing. So if it's in us, and it feels like heartbreak, but it also feels like love, then maybe the ache, it's something that I should pay attention to and almost cultivate, but first kind of make sure that nothing in there smacks of like bitterness or really long resentful lists of things I wish were different. Because I think by this age, and I'm just saying in this room, I think by our age, many things have happened to us that no one has apologized for, that you wish had never happened, that you would undo if you could. And maybe, if you're like me, you start saying things like, of course that would happen, or things that feel like you're kind of caught in a loop of negative expectation. And look, je suis not a bright sider, but I do. But I did have to kind of wonder if something in the ache needed a little bit more motion and get a little more kind of cleared out in order to make a little bit more room for what could be.
So is there a trap at all to optimize our ache? Because I have to say, when I was reading this chapter, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the ache. I know the ache.
Okay,
I'm going to get rid of the ache. What's the steps? Maybe Kate, maybe the next chapter has them. So what's that part of our brain? Do you know what I'm saying?
That's so funny. It's so true.
Part that like wants to quell it. And then I thought too, I'm like, no, maybe the point of the ache is that it's aching and we're in it and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, like, so what say you? What are your thoughts on how to not make a list and change it, you
Well,
know?
no, totally. I think the natural and much more lucrative version of whatever I write is 5-step plans. I mean, we have an entire health and wellness industry that is a $12 billion a year project that will say that whatever it is you figured out is wrong with you, the ache, et cetera, that you are now, congratulations, a problem to be solved. And the project of your life is now how to contain all the steps and make yourself someone who can figure out what's possible inside of a day, a week, a year, a life, is how do you conquer this project called the self. And I mean, at least in the States, and I have many percolating theories about the Canadian book buying market, but 4 to 1, North Americans are buying 5 steps to like self-helpy, just make it go away literature, to the point where it's so embarrassing that the New York Times won't publish it anymore.
Really?
They won't.
Oh.
It's too embarrassing because they want to be like culture makers and taste makers, but if you look at what's being sold, it's so insane and enormous that they made, in 1984, they made a new list for it to try to like peel off all the commercial force, and it's called the self-help / advice / recipe / miscellaneous column. It's very catchy. And then if you look at it, in the bottom print in the New York Times, it goes, and if you want to look at it, you can look online. And I'm just like... But I mean, they're behemoth numbers. Like in a week, they can sell, the top one could sell like 50,000 copies, and some nice, sensible nonfiction book about like a lady who likes reindeer is going to sell like 4,000. I guess reindeer lady is not going to fix your life.
Right. There's no reindeer steps you can take.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not reindeer diet.
yet.
Let's do it.
Happy tomorrow.
Oh gosh, reindeer diet would do so well in a mega America. The Maha reindeer movement. Oh my gosh.
It would.
Grind up the horns, get
Yeah.
those supplements.
Dasher.
Sure, each one a victim.
one.
Get my brother-in-law out here. Just murder each one of them. It would be amazing.
Oh, that's a good full circle right there.
They have this horrible death moan. It's really amazing. Each one.
So on the self-help wellness recipe miscellaneous,
Yep.
check it out online,
Yep.
industry. What's your relationship to it? Where
Yeah.
do you feel you fit within it? Where do you feel you stand very much apart from it? Guide us through that.
My rage. Well,
Guide us through your rage, because I have to say, I do these walks every morning. If you follow me on Instagram, at Meredith Shaw, I do this thing called a walk-in pod, and I've done it, I was hosting a television show, then I no longer was. I needed something else to do with my morning routine, and that I'd take my dog out and go for a walk.
Yeah.
And I listened to a podcast. And I felt like that was kind of a good thing, and I'm still enjoying it. But sometimes I think, man, like I'm
Yeah.
overwhelmed by the then to-do-ness
Yes.
of the rest of my day, which
Yeah.
sometimes I find motivating, I have to say, and other times I find maybe problematic. And then we had lunch today before this, and now I'm reconsidering all the podcasts I listen to. I'm like, maybe they're all problematic. So help me and all of our friends here through the self-help and wellness
Through my
industry.
rage?
Yeah.
Sure,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I'll walk you through my rage.
Yeah.
I really think we replaced priests with social scientists. I'm going to put social scientists in some big quotation marks here, because what we mostly have is just a flood of studies that offer very thin and minor correlations between small acts and measurable improvements in happiness. And it's created this truly endless list of things you can do. Like, did you know if you go to sleep at the same time as your partner, you're more likely to stay together forever? Congratulations on the sleep at the same time plan. Do you? I mean, just nonstop. And what that showed
Then
was...
it's also like, if you sleep in a different room from your partner, sleep divorce, like the Scandinavian people or something, then you'll be better off together.
That's right.
So they're also opposing each other.
You will no longer hate him. I totally agree. Yeah. You won't be part of this endless therapy session called How Was Your Sleep? Yeah. No, it's nuts, because what we've then done is we've taken, I think, a genuine mystery, which is what creates this deep pulsing core of meaning in our life, and we have replaced it with 1,000 thin statistical associations that once pulled apart create, theologian Miroslav Volf described it as like the happiness tangle, is one thing sort of thinly connects to another, which thinly connects to another, and then all of a sudden you have a crazy amount of homework. I saw that, and I'm like, the reason I'm so homicidal is because I consume so much of it personally for both research and secret hopes. Because I too want to conquer my life. I love it, and I hate it, I love it. And I read it all the time.
Great.
And so I'm a sucker for like morning routines. And I'm like, what do you do? When do you hydrate? Is that lemon water?
My Morning Routine. Do you know that website?
No, but I read a book of like how writers then magically connecting productivity with like when they get hydrated. And then by the end, collagen. I see so much collagen. I saw this, I was so excited about this one woman's power routine the other day. And she got up at 4 a.m. and she had some lemon water, and then she had a meditation moment, and then she did yoga. By the time she'd gone rollerblading with her twins, the comment section was just the most deliciously lethal place on the internet. Where it's like, what time is it? Tell me more about your morning routine. So I do think we have, it imagines this self-making project, but if you look at the stats on, in particular what women are doing with their time, 1/3 to 1/2 of a woman's life is caretaking, beginning or end or just all the parts that break in the middle of your life. You are most likely not an independent project. And then it endlessly sells us this bootstrapping, hyper-individualistic, exhausting homework. And now it's added on top of it, be beautiful forever.
Of course, Kate, forever.
What is happening?
To be more forever.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Hope we never age and die. That'd be crazy. That wouldn't just be like 100%. It's nuts.
Well, when you said something a couple sentences ago, the choir out here went, mm-hmm. So I think we're going to go back to that subject matter. Just the role of gender within this conversation.
Yeah.
The role, obviously you're writing from your perspective as a woman, but there's a lot of observances you've made throughout your academic work as well. Of what that role is and how it really does factor in. One of your quotes from the book that I thought was really
sad.
No, no, it was to the sort of blunt, and I liked it. You said, "Marriage made me a wife, my son made me a mother, and cancer made me a feminist."
Yeah.
And I was curious between the correlation of cancer and feminism for you.
Well, I don't think I had a language for limitation. And I think the story about being a woman was a story of endless emotional availability, and that I, like every woman, could become a professional happiness manager. And I can do it all. Not just the reading the emotional temperature and anticipating everybody's needs, but the sort of direct forfeiture of all possible. The amount of women that are just feeding other people's happiness out of the marrow of their bones is astronomical. And unless cancer had introduced real finite limits in my life, it was really only when I was diagnosed that I even let myself finish a book that honestly no one was going to read. It was this like celebrity Christian lady book that I think I sold 400 library copies. And I loved it. I loved that dumb book because it let me, well, first of all, it was really, in the hospital, I invited megachurch ladies from Atlanta to stop by so I could interview them, which was such a funny use of chemo. And I was like, thank you so much for coming to my office. Let's draw the curtain, shall we? It was such a power move, too, because no one was going to say no to those questions. Say again about his infidelity. But it was a chance for me to say, what would it be like if I quieted the sound of everyone else's desires and allowed that peaceful, lovely little space where your own creativity can flourish. And for me, it was a book that only I would love. But cancer introduced the language of limitation, and I don't think women have ever officially been allowed it.
Yeah. And that's a lesson you've carried through.
Well,
Once you start
I did.
liking limitations, I'm assuming it's a great slippery slope.
Are you a good woman? Is it just a fun game? I like to play it with my friends. We like to make little quizzes for each other. Like, do you congratulate a man on a trip if he's vaguely aware of the plans that you made that he is living through? Or do you find yourself emotionally gratified when he stays awake for the whole show that he chose? Or do you find yourself reaching out to take garbage out of the hands of any nearby man, which is something I was openly called out on when I found myself opening the chip bags of men on airplanes that looked like my dad? And I was like, oh boy, that was like 6 months ago. That was not in the distant past. I was like, we're gonna need to be less of a good woman today. Sorry, Dad.
Dad's here?
Dad's right there, yeah.
Oh, Dad's right
Yeah, anyone who looks like that, man, I'll open your chips. Just know, I got you. I'm on it.
Hi, Kate's dad.
She was like, this
Coming
is
back.
the best place to be because it's everyone you know.
No,
I was like,
it's the best. I'm so happy to be kicking this off with you and to be here in your hometown of Winnipeg. We're going to get to your definition of joy, because I think that was so interesting throughout the book to see you find it and re-find it and kind of help us know what that is. Yeah. But in terms of boundaries of it, barriers to it, yeah. Where do you, what do you come up against when you're in search of that beautiful feeling?
Well, I did notice that among my beautiful friends that we were starting to tell the same stories more than once. It's like you don't know that you have the story locked and loaded till you sit down next to someone on the airplane and they're like, how's your brother? You're like, well, let me tell you, and then it's like the 12th time you're taking that out of your pocket. And you're like, oh boy. So I think that my best friend and I created this version of our list of resentments, which we thought were both hilarious. And then they sort of started to stand on their own. We called it the list. The list was any moment that wasn't just inconvenient or sad. It was a moment that changed us, scarred us, remade us in some way. So we started actually writing it down and talking about it as a real and viable thing. And I started to think that maybe if I wanted to make more space for joy, that I should be a little more honest about my resentments. And resentments are not a pretty thing to acknowledge, but I've got a lot. I'd sure love to share some with you.
Well, we have time. We have time. Yeah. I mean, the list, well, you created a few lists in the book, but this one I think is it will set you free, it feels like.
I think the stuff that makes it onto the list always surprises you.
Right. Because
you think that you'll be over it by then. I had a really funny experience with my so when I was very sick, I was trying to make plans about where I would be buried, and it was just a really awful time, and the idea of being apart from everyone just broke my heart. And I started to imagine my husband's family farm. They've got this beautiful little graveyard next to the fields, and I just thought, well, then maybe if I could be there, then I could be a part of this story that goes on and on. And but also, just don't leave me in America, just weekend at Bernie's me, I don't care. Just don't leave me there. Don't make me die there. I don't want to die in America. I
will not rest there.
So yeah. I looked up what is, available to me should I want to die in rural Manitoba. And the answer is I would call this guy named Abe in the next town, and he would bring a backhoe. And for $250, he would just sort of do that. And if you have a good Mennonite family and you don't want to throw your money in the trash by buying a coffin, they will make one for you. And I've got a really good family, so I was like, I got this nailed. So I figured at some point I would just call Abe and we'd get this done. Cut to my father-in-law, who was really hoping would be here tonight so that I could openly make fun of him. My father-in-law, I think, had recently been in a conversation with somebody about how affordable cremation was. And as a Mennonite, I think he was like, you had me at affordable. So he calls me on the phone and he's like, look, I've got 2 graves, right? One for me and one for your mother-in-law, but like, we got all this space. And it was $250. So, and I was like, are you trying to sell me my mother-in-law's grave? And he's like, yes, but if you think about it, it's a really good deal because the price went up to $350. And I was like, hold your horses, Ken. Let's just see what it looks like. I figured next time we were at the family farm, I'd go see what I go visit the potential grave, and I just have to say, like, no curb appeal whatsoever. So I was like, look, this isn't gonna work for me. I need a tree. How about I just buy hers and then I'll buy mine here and then I can plant a thoughtful tree? And he was like, oh, absolutely not. We're not mowing around that. So I got into the heated thing about like quick turn mowers, and he's like, that's weed whacker work, and it was like so specific, and I was like, fine. So my whole plan is to just like throw down cold hard cash and just buy the whole row, and then come in late at night with an unbelievably expensive tree that no good Mennonite would ever cut down, because that would be a bad deal, and just plant it and lock it in. So when I think about like not being able to rest in eternity in the manner of my choosing, that absolutely makes the list. Yeah.
We can clap for that.
Yes.
I'm so sad he's not here.
Oh man, I can't wait.
We all would have just turned right toward
I'll bring him to Toronto.
Yeah. Actually, that would work. That would be good. So overcoming barriers to it, to joy. I had the good fortune of meeting some of your incredibly wonderful friends earlier this afternoon. Friendship seems to be a huge, gift in your life, but tool that all of us can access. Friendship, connection. Yeah. Can you speak more toward the role of friendship in front of some of your very bestest friends?
Well, the best part about Winnipeg is that people don't move, which means you come back and they're there being amazing. So it's like one of the great gifts of my life that they're all here. And friends aren't just friends, they're witnesses, right? And in the most terrifying way, they remember everything. And it's so good, and it's so humbling, and it's so true that if they can help you tell the story, whatever happened, then maybe it's not just the whole story. Maybe it's a chapter, and chapters can turn. And I have never found a better way in my entire life than having a beautiful friend witness the totality of something and saying, like, I think it's time to turn the page.
Where are your friends right now? Yeah, there's so many of you. Where are you? Where are they? There they are. Oh, yes, hello. It's so very, very special. I am friends with the same 12 girls that I've known since I was 2 and 3 years old. And, I'll cry. Aww. But one of their mothers just passed away. Oh, wow. And I actually gave her one of your books before it came out here. And one of the things I thought, because you get older and you have young kids and you're running around after everybody, and you sort of lose touch a little bit. The strings are still there, but life is busy. And then in these moments that just rock you, your beautiful friendships that you've had for so long show up for you. And that's one of the things that we were sharing was just like, oh man, these are going to be very hard years. Yes. And how beautiful to have each other in a way that you, over time, like you cannot beat that.
No.
And when I read your list in particular, on page 135, class, friend-tested rituals for processing the everythingness of life. Yeah. That you go to that chapter immediately when you buy that book out there after I already have. I want to do all of those things with all of my friends. I think they're so. Do you have a favorite one of that list?
Well,
They knew I would cry.
I was like, I love you.
would cry.
I love you. No,
We
I always
both
cry.
Yeah.
One lovely thing that one of my very, very best friends did was when I was moving, there's such a funny thing about like, your house holds a whole story of who you were. And in my case, it was a very important and a very sad chapter. And we, because I married a Mennonite, he refused to pay for movers. And he hired local children and paid them in food. So when I came home from a trip, there was stuff in a box that was obviously organized by height. And it's just good to know that neighborhood children were in my bathroom and just... So I didn't get much of a chance to like have the feelings you want to have. And so my amazing friend woke me up, drove me to my old house. She had pulled over very intensely to the side of the road and disappeared into the woods for a while and then came back, which I thought was very weird. And she was carrying like a pail and like bolt cutters. And then we got into the house, I realized what she'd done is she had cut down a couple like balsam, boughs, yes, well done. And I had like a bucket of water and a thing of Kleenex. And she was like, all right, Kate, we're gonna go room by room and we're gonna bless this house. And what she meant was like, let's start here. Let's start in the kitchen where you bathed your little baby on a little frog pad in the sink. And your father-in-law took down a wall when you didn't ask for that. And just like, well, as we went room by room, there was like, and then there was the place where you slept because you couldn't climb the stairs. And here's the room where it was mostly just medical supplies. And here's all the places we thought the rooms you would never leave. And can we just say, God bless it all? And I thought that no one but a friend could make a ritual out of such a tender moment and then say, let's somehow fold this story into the story of us.
Yeah, beautiful. It's such a great chapter. I mean, I will go, it's dog-eared. Oh yeah, look. See, it's all dog-eared.
Such a good
Like
reader.
there's so much in this book. There's so much. Okay, so we've sort of been dancing around it, but let's define it. What is joy?
Yeah, it's
What is joy? What did you think it was before you started writing the book? And what do you know it to be now?
Yeah, well, I definitely thought that it was kind of, I really thought it was some kind of bonus level to happiness. Mm-hmm. That you can just sort of be in a wonderful place in your life, and then every now and then you get knocked up a rung, and that's got to be joy. And it turns out that happiness and joy are cousins, but they're very distinct. Happiness, which really helped me understand why I'm so grouchy about happiness, because happiness neurologically is a sense of ease. It's the feeling that things are going your way. It's like a lovely, pleasant, like it's your cup of coffee you want and the sun in your face and everything going your way. I realized happiness is what luck feels like. And it's so lovely. But if you're not always a very lucky person, what is available for the rest of us? And it turns out joy is bright, it's enlivening. Neurologically, it engages both our reward system, our dopamine, but also our stress system, which totally explains why you can be in the middle of a terrible situation and somehow find that joy snuck in. Because you can't be happy and sad, like joyful. No, you can't be happy and sad at the same time. That's right. But you can be joyful and sad, which is a super neat trick. So how is it that little magic trick is something that then we can believe is available to us no matter what? And it really helped me understand why in some of the most like highly charged, like hospital moments, for example, that I could somehow be joyful even though I was devastated.
I thought your son defined it very well in the book too.
Yeah.
Zach says that it's a real punch in the heart, which I think is a really cool way to think of it.
C.S. Lewis calls it a stab of longing. I just like the fact that it's like, it's like, oh, you bleed out with all this joy. But it really is, because it creates that kind of longy, ringy, oh my gosh. But what it is it's temporary wholeness. It's like your soul says yes, and for one moment, it's like 2 a.m. drunk, like nothing matters, everything matters, isn't it? I mean, it's this magical, unbelievable, everything is okay.
And you also, there's a beautiful, and I hope you don't mind speaking to it, as I feel like I'm giving away the whole book, but I just have so many favorite parts. There's a really beautiful analogy that you speak to someone about, and he talks about it being like the corners of a puzzle.
Yeah.
And so that in defining it, some things that are difficult to define, how do you make a puzzle? Well, you start with the corners, and then you start to see it take shape.
Yeah.
I just think it's one of the most spacious, interesting ways to think about it. And I was curious if you might speak more to that.
Well, I guess I thought I think it's interesting that joy is an actual mystery. It's one of the most understudied emotion because you can't replicate it in a lab, because joy is an actual surprise. And because you can't surprise yourself, and I hope you're not, then it's very difficult to then do what we want to do, which is like set up all the preconditions. Be like, here's the 5-step things that's going to clear the path, and then I'm going to be a super joyful person.
There's that optimization.
I love it. I want it so much. Yeah. But like, I remember it very vividly when I was getting ready to go home, and I had my little to-go bag, and I was in the hospital room in the like very nice one where they're gonna let you go. You passed all your vitals. A doctor came in, and he was the one I just hated. He had supervised baby doctors tearing strips off my stomach, just as I'd said, by the way, I have sensitive skin, sunk, and then I'm seeing, and I was like, I don't want you again to be in my life. And then he said, knock, knock, and he came in like this, and then I was like, that's not a metaphor, it's a door, you can just knock. But he had his arms like this, and I was like, and he said, Kate, I'm here to remove a surgical drain from your stomach. And I was like, no, that's weird, because I don't have a surgical drain in my stomach, so you can't take it out. I just have these bandages, and I'm going home. And he's like, no, underneath there is a surgical drain, and I'm going to take it out. And I was like, here in this nice to-go room where we're leaving with my bag right here? And he's like, we're going to take it out right now. And I just said, no. And that's a very normal feeling. When you're tired of feeling traumatized, you know that everything feels like it's always the worst thing, and it's always about to happen. So I looked at him with his arms like that, and hilariously, it reminded me of someone in my family who was really into kind of wrestling. Like, he was this bigger guy, but for a while he was really into up-close magic. And I'll never forget, I was getting my wisdom teeth removed, and he kept taking like coins out from behind my ears, and I was like, so for some reason this doctor standing like that just reminded me, and I was like, fine, but you have to do it as a magic trick. And then we both glared at each other, and then he just spun around, strode back in, and then he said, knock, knock, you have a surgical tube in your stomach, and I'm going to do a magic trick. And I was like, all right. So I like arranged myself at the edge, and then he gave the best description. He said, you're going to feel a hard pinch and a fast pull. And then it felt, so I closed my eyes because it was terrifying, and then it felt like my innards were an anchor being wrested from the sea floor. And then when I opened my eyes, it looked like he was holding 200 million feet of tubing, and he had my blood all over his face because he'd obviously done something wrong. And then he just goes, ta-da! What is this feeling? And I realized it was joy. It was like actual, surreal, everything is okay, nothing is okay. I could live like this forever, just take my innards and go. Ta-da! Ta-da!
That's my new favorite thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Did you like him after that?
Oh, he comes to my lectures now. He does.
Happy story.
I see him in the crowd, I'm like, that's my guy. Yeah, we did it.
That's so good. One of the things that moved me a lot on page 178 is you said, I want it to take less and less for me to be joyful.
Yeah.
I want to lower the threshold for joy.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not really into resolutions, but I feel like that's the one I'm doing for 2027.
Yeah.
Like, I want to lower the threshold for joy in my life.
Yes.
Have you been able to?
Well, I really believe, and I guess I really believe that it's possible because I keep meeting people who who easily say that yes that I struggled to get to with that doctor. They just say yes, and this magic happens. I met this old man. He was like 1 trillion years old, and he was assigned to be my driver. I was giving a speech in like rural Pennsylvania, and this man who was like truly translucent under direct light was like struggling with my luggage, and I was like, oh no, this is not good for either of us. But it turns out that he had this wild life where he used to work in a German sausage making factory where he worked in exchange for sausages. Then he was a knife salesman. But as his story unfolded, I realized in every turn, when every moment it didn't go well, he just found another yes. And soon he was telling me about how after he and his wife couldn't have kids, he found out that there were kids in his town, kids that were going in a bad way, and that the court could assign them to live in a facility, or they could be assigned to live with him and his wife. And by the time he was 50, the pleasure with which he was like, there are so many people that I've been given to love that I would hardly remember their names if I couldn't just have imagined that I could love them this much. And he just found in every yes that there was another opportunity to create that kind of magic, to the point where he was willing to entertain all the ridiculous stuff I made him do that day. It's just ridiculous. And I said, what's your best advice for being this kind of person who just says yes and is so obviously joyful? And he said, well, I've come to believe that love is, he's like, look, at my age, you don't really know what you're going to be able to do in like a month, let alone a year. So I feel like I've been tasked, like that God, it's not just that I'm taking things as they come, but God has tasked me with love. And my assignment is to say yes, and today it was you. And it really reminded me of this little thing that's attributed to Immanuel Kant. It's about how to be really joyful. And it says, find something to do, because there's that intimate relationship between joy and service. Find someone to love, and find something to hope for. And I thought, that is the best recipe I've ever heard for expanding your capacity for joy.
Yeah. And what's the relationship that you found between the divinity work that you do and joy? Because it sounds like that man is also doing that.
Yeah.
Like he gets that.
He's doing that.
He gets that. He's passed by God.
Well, whenever I was reading the definitions of joy, it would say, and joy is the thing that you find in God. And I believe that, but I couldn't get there with that description. Like, what is the relationship between believing that God somehow saves the world and this feeling? And it really took me a bit to understand if joy is an actual mystery, an actual paradox. Like, a paradox is a word that we use a lot, but it's not just like on Instagram where they're like, 2 things are true at the same time. Like, it's an actual mystery.
Paradox.
It's a paradox. It means 2 truths that are the only true if you put them so close to each other that the breath between them illuminates the mystery of it. It's only true. And I realized that joy was like that in the unfinished brokenness of this world, that the story of Holy Week, frankly, the story of Easter is that we have a I mean, the number of paradoxes in Christianity is very annoying. Like, I am weak, so I am strong. Like, the kingdom of God is here, but not yet. Like, when would that be? And so, can it be now-ish? And so, why is it that we are asked to live in the tension of so much contradiction? And I really came to believe that that moment of temporary wholeness where we can be genuinely filled, because the animating spirit of joy is gratitude and hope and delight, that like lung capacity, it makes us, like we can breathe in. Well, what are we breathing in? We can then take in reality, but I think that God gives us joy so that we can live like this, like with the way it really is. I think we get these glimpses of transcendence, of temporary wholeness, so we can go back to our lives with a fullness of heart and spirit, because otherwise it's just the way it is. And who wants to live in a world like that?
Yeah, not I. I mean,
is my feeling about that.
I mean, your ability to take what we know to be true and elevate it is really quite spectacular. Like it has such resonance, and I think you'll find that as you read these pages, there's so much of it that will just drop down deep into your soul, because you've almost felt it before. You know, there's a commonality, I think, that will really happen with this book. There's a huge amount of, I mean, you've built such an incredible community, but there's really something, I'm deeply grateful that you offered this in this time, because I think it will be really transformational for so many people. And to be able to hear you speak on so many of the different aspects has been really incredible, I think. Don't you think? Isn't she funny and smart and just everything we want right now?
Thank you, love.
Yeah.
I guess like if I were to want something for everybody, I just know that in my worst moments, what I needed to know is that, and it's advice that my friend TJ's uncle gave him. My friend TJ, you know, there's like one person who's like an amazing gift giver. And my friend TJ used to get these gifts from his uncle that was like, he lived in Nebraska, and his uncle would just ship him lobsters on Christmas Eve. And he'd never seen a lobster, and it was like, it came from the moon. And he would just watch them skittering around, and he was like, what magic? It was just he was like a magical person. Yeah, and then they died badly in a delicious way. And his uncle always said, look, too many people die with a song still in them. And I thought that was such a lovely echo for like what joy is. If joy is the song that is in all of us, that joy is really for us, joy is there for us to experience and delight in, then like we are a song and we have to sing it. And I think now our world requires that we find our joy and that it carry us forward. I don't think a world in which despair is the loudest voice is the one that we want to live in. And I don't think postponing it is helping anybody. I really don't. I think joy reminds us that we are so good, so ridiculous, so stupid, so wonderful. So if I were going to pick something, joy would be made for everyone, you know.
Well, thank you for making it accessible to all of us.
Guys, we've heard enough from me. I don't want to end this without a little something that I'm going to force on Meredith Shaw. Will you join me in my ridiculousness that I'm about to introduce called What's an Evening About Joy Without Joy Games That Makes Meredith Uncomfortable? Okay. Are we ready? Woo! Guys, Meredith.
Okay, so my cards are going down, your cards are coming up. Okay,
I have asked Meredith to play a series of terrible games with me. Meredith has a secret...
The audience cheers.
Yeah, Meredith has a secret past, everyone.
Oh.
Just show of hands. How many people think that Meredith in her past was a sommelier? Anyone? No? Murmur, murmur, murmur.
Oh, thank you.
Murmur,
thank you.
murmur.
Thank
One
you.
person. Thank you.
Thank you.
One person believes that you were a sommelier.
Cheers to you. Oh, okay, a couple more.
Just a couple more.
Yeah.
All right. How many people think that she was an opera singer? Any
A what?
hands? Opera singer? I like all the discussing. This is
you have
good.
more
We're like, I'm
hands?
not going to use my hands. I'll use my voice. That's great. I see 20 people. That's great. How many people think that she had a successful Christian puppet ministry? No? Great.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. But what makes them Christian? That's good. A lot of follow-up questions. I did confess to Meredith that I have previously purchased $800 worth of Christian puppets in the past.
Yeah.
All right, Meredith, will you tell them the answer?
Was there a D? Is there a
There's
tipsy,
only those three.
opera singing puppet Christian person? No.
Yes.
Opera, B.
She was an opera singer. Amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's generous.
Wow.
But yes, I studied opera.
I have then prepared a series of questions for Meredith on the topic of opera. It's very simple. It's true or false. She doesn't know what's coming. That's what makes it joyful. It's an awful surprise. Surprise! Here's the game. Meredith, opera is the only art form where you can die in Act 3 and do it again tomorrow. Thankfully, you avoided an early death, but not everyone was so lucky. Which of the following onstage scenarios are real? Number 1, in 1996, tenor Richard Versailles fell from a 20-foot ladder and died at the Met moments after singing the line, "You can only live so long." True or false?
I mean, I hope false.
Oh, he died so badly, it's true.
It's true?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, it's a Holy Week, it's a bummer week, everything goes badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So
All right,
for
in
him-
1954 in London, a supernumerary, what is that? A super high, it better be an extra.
You can count really high.
Super good at numbers.
Numbery.
In La Traviata, tripped over a backstage rope, fell into a 6-month coma, refused to enter an opera house again, mostly because he was unconscious. True or false?
Yeah, that happened for sure.
0-2. It's
0-2.
false. Just made that up
Yes.
for my own amusement. Number 3, in 1960, baritone Leonard Warren died on stage at the Met during Verdi's La Forza del Destino, right after an aria that begins to die, a momentous thing.
So much death.
Yeah, the whole thing is
It's
dead.
all death. No, he survived.
You've gotten all 3 wrong. Congratulations. Wow. Amazing. Wow. What's the most dramatic thing you ever sung?
Sung?
You were saying,
In opera?
I guess, yeah.
Yes. Well, I studied it at Queen's University. That's where I studied it with the incredible Carolyn Reifel. But I was also writing my own songs and singing at bars at night. So my professors got very upset with me because eventually, she said, your voice, has to choose. Whether you're going to really, it's like an athlete. I mean, opera singers are athletes. Like your vocal prowess is so forceful.
No way.
And I was like, I want to be in a rock band.
You're like,
She was like, no. My parents were like, no.
You're like, my voice chooses fun.
Yeah,
Amazing.
exactly.
Meredith, opera is tragic, but let's move on. Lately, no one can tell the difference between real news and fake news. I'm wondering if you can identify real Canadian news items, real Canadian headlines, and which are that and which are satirical articles from our favorite Mennonite joke fest, the Daily Bonnet. You ready? Number 1.
I love you less and less.
I was like, Meredith,
As a
you can
broadcaster, I hope I know these answers. That I actually was. Opera singer, I don't know. But okay, here we go.
I was
Here
like,
we go.
Meredith, you can
News.
interview me for an hour, and then I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
And I said okay.
Which headlines are true? Number 1, sister hits moose on way to visit sister who hit moose. True or false?
I mean, that can't be true. Both sisters would be, right? No more sisters.
That's true.
You can't hit a moose. Like, I know that. I went to camp in Algonquin Park. You can't hit a moose, Kate.
That's true.
The moose wins.
My favorite part about Newfoundland is the number of billboards about
Yes.
moose safety. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
It's like 32 moose deaths.
My
this
husband
year.
is from Newfoundland.
Stop.
He almost hit one coming to me, get me at the airport.
No.
Oh, yes, it was almost tragic. But was it?
So is it's true, false? You said false because they'd both be dead?
Well, yeah.
I like this argument.
False.
It is in fact true. It is a family curse. Everyone survived in the
survived?
hospital. Yeah, so in a way.
good for them.
In their own way. Number 2, police confused between blood and spilled borscht at murder scene. It's so stupid.
Come on, police. Oh, no, that's not true. You can smell a borscht from a mile away.
That's true. It is
Haven't they
false.
watched Law and Order?
Yeah, that's
CSI?
right.
Hasn't Mariska Hargitay taught them anything?
That's right. It was negative. You got it. All right. Number 3. City of Winnipeg briefly banned singing on buses. Mennonites in a 3-part uproar.
Oh. Yeah. 3-part uproar. I would pay money to see that. That's a great band name, actually. Yeah. If I ever start a band, 3-part uproar is going to be it. I mean, I hope that's true.
It is true, yeah. It was $100. The city of Winnipeg was like, you sing Wheels on the Bus one more time. It's going to cost you $100. That's right. All right, number 4, Mennonite town implements needle exchange program for knitting addicted grandmas.
Oh.
Stupid. It's stupid. All right, yeah, all right. Never mind.
Knitting, needle. Is it? No, it's not. It's true.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be safer?
No.
Yeah, and fewer prayer quilts for me.
Sure.
Number 5, evangelical couple announces they're just friends in Christ after 47 years of marriage. Stupid. Won't even dignify that with an answer.
I mean,
it could be true.
It could be true.
It
feels like they would maybe say that.
It feels pretty true.
Yeah,
That's right.
Feels true.
All right, you've got 0 out of 6. Just joking. You have 3 out of 6, Meredith.
Yeah,
3 out of 6, just half
More?
right. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. These are all definitely
How
games.
many cards do you have?
Just 45 more.
No.
Meredith, enough about you. What brings me joy?
Yes.
We're going to focus on my favorite thing,
Good.
which is unusual historical oddities in the greater Manitoba area with some American additions. I want to focus on so I spend a lot of my free time forcing people to go visit local attractions.
Yeah.
It's not my most popular quality. So your questions are mostly related to they're entirely related to world's largest things. All right. Number 1, the world's largest gathering of snakes. We know this. Look at this. You're my people. Is in this Narcissus snake dens in Manitoba. Oh. Emerging from limestone winter dens, males surround females 100 to 1 to form writhing mating balls. What month is peak orgy season?
No. That's true. That should be on the poster of Come to Manitoba. Well, they're spring. I mean, like it's spring. Now, right now.
You think it's now?
Well, aren't they born? Isn't everything born now? It's the time of bornness. Birth.
Weirdly, it's always around Mother's Day, which is upsetting.
Oh, really?
It's May.
It's May.
May is peak orgy season. Thank you.
Snake orgy season.
Yeah, thank you. Number 2.
Come back for that.
The world's largest tobacco pipe monument stands in Manitoba, and 19 feet tall and 5 feet wide. It's made of steel and concrete weighing 400 pounds. Once a year, the town gathers around it to do what? To celebrate?
Sing in 3-part harmony. No.
I love the crowd's like, smoke it, obviously. Yeah, they're French, Meredith. They're French.
Really,
Of
though?
course they smoke it.
Oh, smoke it. So cool. I love that for them.
Okay, it's great.
Okay.
So yeah, 3 out of 8, that's great.
Yeah,
In
thanks.
Kansas, this is one American edition, here we go. Local farmer Frank Strobel rolled his excess string into a ball, which has now become the world's largest ball of twine. The twine has been on a roll for 70 years now. Once a year, townspeople gather to 1, sacrifice a bale of hay, 2, add more string, 3, elect a twine queen, 4, just unravel it and see what happens.
Oh, I really want to meet the twine queen. I hope it's a twine queen.
You would be the twine queen.
I would love to be the twine queen.
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
It's
Unfortunately, it's the most boring. They just pick up string from their houses and bring it. They're like, here you go.
It's like a string offering.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, they sacrifice it to their god. It's true. All right, the world's largest frying pan is not very far away from me. I have visited it, North Carolina, Rose Hill, North Carolina, weighing 2 tons with a 15-feet diameter and holding 200 gallons of cooking oil. This town gets together to cook what once a year? A giant omelet, 365 chickens at once, or whatever fits in the world's largest air fryer. Stupid.
What do you mean chickens? Like the eggs and that's mean to chickens. That's both chickens.
I hope they're dead when they get on there.
What I mean.
Yeah, they're like, burn.
I'd rather be the egg, the omelet. I was gonna say eggs, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a omelet.
Well, Well, unfortunately, we live in an RFK America, so it's 365 chickens at once. Bring out the meat.
Protein.
And the last one is this. This is from an interview I did with a local Manitoba friend. When I asked the maker of the world's second largest fire hydrant how he felt about the first largest fire hydrant being built just down the block, he said, "I guess you could say I'm feeling a little hosed." Why are you asking me? Actually, I was pretty upset about it. Or, we were volunteer firefighters with a lot of pain. It was always going to be stupid. And those are real choices.
I mean, I hope it's the hosed joke. That one was the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
Or was it the sad C?
It was actually like they built something so much bigger and better just down the block.
Oh.
Later on, he was like, yeah, actually, it was just always going to be stupid. So congratulations, Meredith. You got 3 out of 11. It's really stupid. No one knows why. Let's give Meredith her prize. She got yeah.
Come on.
It's a Mennonite bag of nuts.
Oh my.
It's
the one from the beginning?
It's a bag of nuts.
Oh,
yeah, it's super. It's not
gosh.
safe.
Thank you.
It was always going to be ridiculous doing this with you. I am so, guys, we could not be happier. And thank you so much to McNally and to John and to everyone who organized this, to my amazing team, to Meredith for coming way out, and to all of you for coming and making this like a ridiculous special thing. And when we are looking for joy, we'll just find something to do, find someone to love, and we'll find something to hope for. I think we're going to be okay. Thanks, guys, so much for coming
Kate
tonight.
Bowler, everybody.
I love you.
Kate
Thanks, darling.
Bowler.
We're good. Hey.
Thank you so much, Kate. Thank you, Meredith. That was a fantastic evening. Thank you all for being here. Thank you again to the good people here at Westworth United Church, to Penguin Random House, the Hello Bowler team, and Doubleday Canada. We're thrilled you could join us here tonight. Thank you all for being here, and have a lovely evening.